Activist and actor Tyler Perry is calling for justice for two Florida men who mysteriously vanished under similar circumstances. 27-year-old Terrance Williams disappeared 8 years ago. According to police and news reports, he was last seen in the back seat of a patrol car driven by local sheriff deputy Stephen Calkins. Under questioning from investigators, the deputy said he left Terrance at a convenience store. But as Terrance's family asked more questions, the officer's story started to unravel. Terrance's mother learned also disturbing facts about the officer's past. 3 months earlier, police reports say another man, Felipe Santos, had also disappeared after being driven away in Officer Calkins' patrol car. Calkins told investigators he left Santos at a nearby convenience store as well. After an internal investigation, Officer Calkins was cleared of any wrongdoing in the Santos disappearance. The case was recently featured on Investigation Discovery's Disappeared.
3 months after Terrance went missing, police issued Deputy Calkins another polygraph.
He was found to be totally deceptive.
The polygraph results beg the question: did Steve Calkins see Terrance again after allegedly dropping him off at the Circle K? And if so, why isn't he coming clean? Calkins insists his interaction with both Terrance and Felipe ended at the Circle K, and that he had nothing to do with either man going missing.
Joining me now is actor, entertainer, and activist Tyler Perry. Tyler, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, listen, I wish it was under different circumstances, but I had to be here.
How did you hear about this story, and what made you get involved?
I was just watching. I never watch television for some, I'm always busy, but I was watching the story on Investigation Discovery, and I was blown away because the last person to see him alive is this Deputy Steve Calkins, from what I understand. Mm-hmm. And as I'm watching the show, and then as the story goes on, there was another man who disappeared, Felipe Santos, who disappeared a few months before Terrance did. Last person to see him alive is the same sheriff. There's a lot of conflicting stories, and I'm just trying to help this mother find some justice.
Now, this same officer had been involved in 2 missing cases.
Yes.
Let me bring in Terrance's mother. Marcia Williams joins us from Florida. Thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
When did you realize your son was missing?
His friend, his roommate, was trying to find him, and he couldn't. And once I didn't hear from him, I knew that something was not right. It was just wrong.
When they played the tape between Calkins, the policeman, and the dispatcher, let me play for our listeners around the country, our viewers, to listen and see what was being said here.
Signal 11, signal 52, nobody around. All right. The tag goes after nothing. It's a big old white piece of junk Cadillac. Like, oh, really? I'm told it. He touched it. Give me the VIN number.
Now, this officer said he didn't know what they were talking about at first. He didn't know Terrance, but the dispatcher and he discussed this Cadillac, and also clearly there was some engagement.
Yeah, he told his mother, because she was relentless in calling, trying to find out where her child was, because she thought he was arrested. Right. There were people at the funeral home who told her he was arrested, and she could not find any proof of that, so she kept calling the police, and they finally called him at home and said, do you remember this, the tow in the Cadillac? And there's audio tape of him saying, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they find this audio tape of him actually talking to the dispatcher.
Now, Ms. Williams, Felipe Santos disappeared 3 months before Terrance, same officer involved. You had no way of knowing that when you started pursuing what happened to Terrance. I mean, why has there not been outrage about this? Why have we not seen, since 2004, people in Florida and others rallying?
I can't understand it. I just can't. I'm looking for answers. I just can't understand it.
You're looking for answers. Did you ever talk to the officer? Did you ever speak with Calkins?
I left. I had a detective in the beginning. He said that he would put Terrance's picture in Deputy Calkins' mailbox. And I said, please have him to contact me because I want to know what happened.
Right.
Never contacted at all.
How did you feel when Tyler Perry, the biggest star in Hollywood now, according to all records, contacted you out of nowhere and decided he wanted to help bring this case to the national spotlight?
I just looked at it and accepted it as an angel that God had sent my way. And I cannot thank him enough.
Tyler, you've already gone on national radio. You're doing this show, and you've encouraged all of us, saying, look, this is not what I do, but it touched my heart that this would happen and this lady deserves some justice.
Yeah.
Why is it so personal?
We all should be outraged because this is the kind of stuff that would happen in the 60s and earlier, where black people would just disappear and be disregarded and they're never heard from again. And there is somebody who knows something. And the problem with it is, and I've spoken to people about this in trying to help her get national attention, and what I'm being told by a lot of mainstream media is that he's not sympathetic because of his history of he has children with different women, or he spent some time in prison when he was early, so he's not sympathetic. But I believe that is what, in my opinion, that this deputy was thinking, that nobody would care. But he has children that miss him. This is his mother. She misses and loves him. You know, Felipe Santos, he had family. You know, he's from Mexico and an immigrant. You know, and I think it's just unfair, and I just want to see justice be done and be served here. We've got to do something to help her.
Now, when do people have to qualify to have justice? I mean, it doesn't matter what his background is. You don't have the right to do
America,
this to him.
That's right.
And I think, you know, Mrs. Williams, I told Tyler Perry when he called us on it that we're coming down and we're going to have a national rally. We're going to help Tyler Perry put a spotlight on this because your son represents a lot of people that have been marginalized, that people assume nobody cares about. And we can't have a country that people are only matter based on their pedigree or their criminal record or their family lifestyle.
Yeah.
Human beings matter.
Not in this America. You're right. This America.
Tyler's not going to have to stand by himself. If he can, with all he has to do, wake up. I mean, it's embarrassing. He has to wake the ministers up to do our job. But we're coming to Naples with Tyler Perry in March, and we're going to try to put a lot of spotlight on this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tyler, Marcia, we're going to rally, and we're going to keep this out there on the show. Thank you for your time tonight to both of you. Thank you, Tyler.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
The Collier County Sheriff's Office fired Deputy Calkins in October 2004, citing untruthful statements and conduct unbecoming an officer in the Terrance Williams case. Today we spoke with Detective Kevin O'Neill, who told us Calkins remains a person of interest. He also said he continues to track down any new tips in the missing person cases of Terrance Williams and Felipe Santos.